from Drunk Under the Sun.
Another funky funk, drunk episode coming to you courtesy of Drunk Under the Sun.
And then your life's work could have been ahead of you.
Tom and Joe from Drunk Under the Sun.
Join us every week on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify.
Yeah. Podcast that's about anything and everything under the sun.
Check it out.
Joe's drunk.
Yeah, we both are fucking drunk.
Stop it.
I've turned into a white girl, I guess.
Why?
Because that's all
What do white girls watch that?
All women watch murder shows anymore. That's all
Really?
they watch. Yeah, Saturday Night Live did a whole like fucking skit about women watching murder shows. It's the big thing. But I mean, it's interesting. But
I watch serial killer documentaries all the time.
I do too, and I watch them because
Fascinating.
it's fascinating because I want to get in their head. I want to know what's going on there. Yeah. You know, I'm not fascinated. It doesn't like entertain me to the kills or whatever like that.
Oh, that's the worst part.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know what the fuck is going on there. Like, why are they like that?
Well, yeah, why they do that?
Like, and I guess just learn about them. Like, it just fascinates me in a way because like Peacock has Devil in Disguise, John Wayne Gacy story type deal.
Oh, really?
And it has his like the only video interview he ever did, and they splice it up and they talk about him and shit. And it's just interesting to see how different he is from other killers. Because, like, in his situation, like, he went to the fucking death chamber denying he had any knowledge of any of that shit.
Really?
Yeah. It was fucking wild because, like, okay.
Even though he murdered mad kids?
He murdered...
He raped a lot of fucking kids.
They found at least 33 bodies that he had killed, most of them on his property, under his house and shit. And he, in this interview, he was like, I don't know how they got there. I don't know how they got there. Like, you should ask this guy or this guy type shit. And I'm like,
delusional.
Exactly. Like, I think it was to the point where he was just saying shit. Like, he would say anything just to make you think he was crazy, but he wasn't because he got away with it for so long. Because, like, at one point in the documentary series, it's really good, by the way. Check it out. But at one point, he's like, I killed the first one. Now, he references it as the first one. That was his mistake there.
Yes.
I killed the first one. I don't know how the other ones got there. I killed him in self-defense. He was coming at me with a knife, and then I killed him. And then he would go on to say shit later like, I don't know how any of those bodies got there. I didn't put anybody there. I didn't kill anybody. I don't know how I would have run into any of these people. He had this like fucking book this thick of like information on these people and the killings and stuff, trying to clear his name, and he didn't kill anybody that was buried under his house. Wow. It was wild. It's fucking wild. And you go from him to like, I watch a show about Joel Rifkin.
I don't know that one.
He was highlighted in Seinfeld at one point. One person that Elaine dated was named Joel Rifkin, and they wanted to change his name. Yeah, but he was a serial killer. He killed prostitutes.
I remember that episode.
He killed prostitutes. And he killed people because I guess it all boiled down to when he grew up, like in school, he was bullied a lot.
That's always the case.
He couldn't fight back. He was like just a little guy type deal. Mm-hmm. And he never really had a relationship. The only relationship he had was like with this one chick that ran track, but once everybody found out about it, they bullied him about it type shit. So he started getting prostitutes. But eventually picking up those prostitutes became murder.
Oh, he'd kill the prostitutes.
And he would start killing the prostitutes and dumping them here and there. Like the first one.
Sounds like he has anger problems.
Yeah. It probably boiled down to that because like he had a fascination with this like Hitchcock movie that had this chick getting strangled in it. And I think that's how a lot of his victims were killed, by strangulation. Really? But he did some crazy shit. He didn't kill as many people as John Wayne Gacy. He only killed like 17 or something like that.
Only 17? That's a lot of motherfuckers.
It's crazy, but the difference between him and Gacy was, in the interviews, he talked about it like it was his job. He didn't deny it. He would just be like, yeah, I did this and whatever. It was no big deal.
Wow.
Type shit. And I was like, how do you get there? Like, what the fuck? And at one point,
You
like,
just lose yourself.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Because see, Gacy, to me, it sounds like if he's still denying it, it sounds like
he's been executed. But
well, I know, but yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
But I'm saying at the time of before his execution, he was denying it.
Yeah.
Right. So he still thought probably in his head he could get away with this.
He
shit.
fought. He did fight it up until he knew he couldn't fight it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he still fought it, but like he fought it till the end. And eventually, in that documentary, I'll blow it. Spoiler alert. The guy like that was interviewing Gacy got this like friendship with him type deal, to where right before he got executed, he was like, Gacy was like, I want you to clean out my cell, take all my shit. I don't want the guards going through it. Come to find out later, he discovered these tapes.
They confessed?
To where he was talking to an attorney where he's saying how he did it and how he killed people.
Shit.
And how he it was basically a confession tape to the lawyer that was representing him.
Yeah.
And it was just wild, like, because he was like, well, why'd you do it this way? And he was like, well, after a while, I just put him in the river because it was easier type shit. Because that's...
What do you mean put him in the river?
Because...
You drown him?
No, after he killed him, he just tossed him, disposed the body, he tossed him in the river.
Oh.
Because it was easier, because he ran out of room. He said, I ran out of room underneath his house and shit. He didn't have any more room to bury people, so he just tossed them in the river. He had this construction business, and he would hire young teenage boys. And some of them he killed, some of them he didn't. Some of them he had like a working relationship with that people speculate they helped him dispose of bodies or something.
Oh shit.
Because even at one point during his interview, didn't help his case at all. But he was like, yeah, I came home and so, the guy that I employed was sitting on the couch with this other guy. And when I woke up the next morning, the other guy was dead on the carpet, and I went to work. When I came home, he was gone. But he didn't call the cops. He didn't say anything. He just...
Oh, wow.
So he's trying to put the blame on these other people.
When he's probably the one
He's
murdering
probably
him.
the one to do it.
Yeah.
Another fucked up thing that happened to him, a couple of them got away.
Really?
One of them, this blows my fucking mind, that he didn't say anything, right? This one dude, like Gacy was trying to make him watch porn with him or some shit, right? And then he was like, oh, you're a wrestler. Like, let's do some wrestling moves. And Gacy tried to put handcuffs on him. Because that's what he would do. He'd put handcuffs on the guy and then choke him out or whatever. But as the guy struggled, the handcuff wasn't all the way. So he was able to get out of him. But Gacy left the room and he didn't know he had gotten out. And when Gacy came back in, he took him down and handcuffed him. And he handcuffed Gacy on the floor and shit. And just let him go.
The fuck, he beat his ass.
He was just like, I didn't think anything of it. But he even mentioned this quote. Gacy said this when he did that. He was like, you're the first one to have ever not only got out of the cuffs, but to put them on me. He said the first, it didn't click anything in this guy's head.
What the fuck?
And he was just some kid. He was like, whatever. And he got away. He got out of death. But
oh my God.
Why the fuck wouldn't something that fucked up register in your head to be like, this guy's a danger?
Because he probably just didn't.
I mean,
because he probably had a reputation that, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know, man.
I mean, from the outside looking in, he was just this political figure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had a construction.
Probably Democrat.
He was a Democrat. I don't know what he did, but he was involved in politics in that area, doing I don't know what the fuck.
So he's influencing people.
Yeah, he was. Like and he would get money for fundraisers type shit.
Fuck, what a piece of shit, right?
Yeah. Now on the way here, I listened to something even fucked up. I listened to a show called "In the Defense of." And it was the defense attorney for Ted Bundy.
Oh shit!
And it was his
psycho clown.
He wasn't a clown.
I thought he was.
No,
I thought Ted Bundy was.
No, Ted Bundy.
Oh no, Ted Bundy, like he just murdered a bunch of girls. And
Yeah,
shit like that.
he murdered
That's
a bunch
right.
of chicks.
Yeah.
What's fucked up about that? This story was about the defense attorney, the guy that represented him in the trials. Well, if you know anything about Ted Bundy, he kind of took over and represented himself.
Yeah, he did.
Eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was
arrogant.
Yeah, he was a fucking narcissist.
Yeah.
And he took over, and it was the wrong move, obviously. But it was just
the wrong move was killing people.
Well, yeah, it was just fucked up to hear because like he was like the guy didn't want to do it, but the guy was like he didn't agree with the death penalty, so he was like, and he was Ted Bundy.
He was an AG.
No. Ted Bundy picked him. He knew of him or something, and he picked him. But anyways, he didn't get out of it, and at one point, I guess Bundy had said some fucked up shit about how he'd killed over 100 people, and they didn't know about it.
Oh
type
shit!
Shit. But he couldn't say anything because of the attorney privilege shit.
Yeah, client privilege.
Then he kept all that in until he was executed. Like, and another fucked up thing about this prosecuting this defender guy, his girlfriend in 1970 was killed very similarly than all Ted Bundy's
really
people, and Ted Bundy knew about her.
Really?
And that guy, it fucked with that guy. He was like, "Did he kill my girlfriend?"
It sounds like
and
it.
It sounded like it to me too. He was like, I can't say that he did or think about that because I could never forgive myself.
Yeah.
But like, it's a very real possibility that Ted Bundy killed his defense lawyer's girlfriend in 1970.
Fuck.
It's wild.
That is wild. I didn't know that shit.
No, I didn't either until I watched that show. Because it was all about like what the defense people go through when they're defending a piece of shit like Ted Bundy or somebody like that, and it was super fucking interesting.
Wayne Gacy, God, that's so shitty, man. I mean, but them killers. Like I watched the one documentary about the Night Stalker.
Yeah.
That is fucked up because the Netflix documentary. I've seen people talk shit about it, but I'm like, it's very well done, in my opinion, because it's like you see it from the cops' point of view.
I'll have to check it out. What's it called?
Night Stalker.
Just Night Stalker.
Yeah, it's great. In my opinion, I think it's a great documentary because you see it from the point of view. Because normally when they do those documentaries, they do it and they try to make you sympathize with the fucking killer.
Yeah, it almost glamorizes.
Yeah, and I'm
murderer.
like, fuck that. This motherfucker, he's just whacking his head, and something. I'm not gonna say that. Like, I mean, when you, because there's always a cause to an effect.
Oh yeah,
always. So there's a reason why these people do this shit, but at the same time, maybe there isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you know anything about Richard Ramirez, who is a Night Stalker, you know he killed a bunch of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And he terrorized shit in L.A. for a fucking grip. And but when you watch it, and it's just so crazy.
It just shows how they tried to piece everything together.
Yeah, because it showed like at first this one cop was like, maybe these are linked, and what he was referring to was there was some murders over here. And then there were some kidnappings where kids were being kidnapped out of their houses in the middle of the night, and then being raped, and then fucking he would let the kids go. Oh, right. He would let the kids live, but then he would go and murder fucking people sleeping in their houses and just fucking murder them. And then it was fucked up. He'd always kill the guys first, and then he would go to the fucking women. Because it makes sense.
It makes sense.
And a lot of times before he killed the women, he would rape them.
Yeah.
And then he would kill them.
Yeah.
You know, and there was times where dudes fought back and people fought back and he'd run away.
Yeah.
Because he's a coward.
Yeah.
You know, fucking.
Usually. I mean,
usually, yeah. Because you pick a soft target.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? One, you can get it. You know, you're a bully.
They're asleep.
Yeah.
You've got the upper hand.
You got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's to me it was a dope ass documentary, but
I appreciate documentaries like you said because
I do too.
Because it shows I like it more from the victim side almost. It's more it's more interesting to me.
Well,
Like,
it's more scarier.
and it is more scary.
It's more
because
scarier.
like I did check out another. I forget what it's called, but there was another documentary series. It's a series. It's pretty long about the chick that was dating Ted Bundy as he killed everybody.
Oh.
And it's real fucking interesting.
Now, the movie they did on Netflix was like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty much like that. Like, you've seen it from her point of view and shit like that.
I didn't. I hadn't.
It's pretty
seen
good. It's got Zach Efron.
yeah.
Zach Efron is
It's
is Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
It's really good though.
I never watched that, but
It's really good.
I watched the interviews with the actual chick and her daughter.
Oh, really?
About like the situation because
And they were like, he's such a great guy.
Well, that's what she thought.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, like Ted writes this one last letter to her mom, and the daughter just chucked it in the fire so her mom didn't see it because she was like, "Fuck this, it's fucking with my mom like too much."
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he dated this chick this whole time. He's just murdering people.
So fucked
And
up, man.
he actually shoved her in the river at one point, which I think he was trying to kill her.
Oh,
They never allude to that. But at one point, they were on this boat together on this river, and he just like straight knocks her in type shit.
Really?
And like she described this look on his face and shit as he did it, and I think he was trying to murder her.
Yeah.
And then he like snapped out of it type shit, and then nothing like that ever happened again. But
Wow.
that I think she was lucky.
Oh yeah,
she was fucking
for
lucky.
sure. For sure.
There's no way, like.
It's like, did you ever hear the story about Jeffrey Dahmer when he there was one because he always his victims were all boys.
Yeah.
And I think it was a black kid who was like deaf or mute. He couldn't talk or some shit.
Yeah.
And he escaped from
did it,
Dahmer's
yes.
house, and the cops stopped him.
Yep.
And they gave him back to Dahmer.
That's fucked up.
Dude, those cops have got to feel the worst.
Because he was dead after that.
He was dead. After that, it's like, dude, we gave him back to him.
I know.
Like,
That's
what the
fucked.
fuck?
And oh my god, he was so fucked up. I've seen a show about, I don't know what the show was called again, but
Dahmer was fucked up.
he was constructing a table that he was going to secure his victims' skulls on as some kind of altar.
Really?
Type shit. Yeah. It's fucked
wow,
up.
dude.
He drew picture of it for evidence or some shit. He got killed in prison.
Oh yeah, he got good. Yeah, he didn't last long.
No, he didn't.
He didn't last long at all in prison.
Yeah, as soon as it was months, maybe not even months.
I don't even think. I think maybe 2 months
And
after
he
he
was
was dead.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they killed his ass.
Yeah, because that was
Fucking crazy,
man.
man.
Crazy. I don't see what drives people to. I mean, I kind of do, but I kind of don't.
See, I get why some people do murder
to an extent.
to an extent because like when you're pissed off
Yeah,
and then your ego kicks in.
yeah,
I get that part. The serial killers that we're talking about,
Yeah.
none of that was existence.
No.
They were just fucking doing it.
yeah.
Like they were enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't because they were mad or you know what I mean? Like nothing like that.
Yeah.
They were just it was their thing.
Especially, like, this was really odd. Another thing about the Bundy series I listened to on the way here, or the show that I listened to, he asked his defense lawyer, what state could I go to get the death penalty? Lawyer was like, Florida. Because, he just threw one out there that he knew was pretty hard death
Yeah.
penalty-wise.
Yeah.
He said Florida. And sure as shit, the last murders Bundy's did was in Florida. And that's where they got him, was in Florida. So he must have had a death wish to an extent.
Well, to an extent,
To
yeah.
an extent. Or he was just playing a game.
Or he knew like life in prison with you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No possibility of parole or just die and get it over with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Prolong it or make it short. You know what I mean? Could be that too.
I guess.
Fucking crazy.
It is crazy.
I
I don't get it. Like, I've been
I mean,
frustrated.
I kind of get it.
I do get it, but I've been frustrated and pissed in my life. And I guess I'm fortunate enough not to be like, I want to murder everybody, you know?
Well, see, I have been that angry to where I'm like, I will murder everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have been that, but then once you calm down from the anger,
You're like, what the fuck?
they're like, what? I can't do that shit.
Yeah.
Like why would I do that? You know what I mean? But I
guess the
can see it.
circumstance.
I can see why people like, especially like people who like like fly off the hinges.
I can see like a one-time thing.
A
but
one-time
not a
thing.
continuous.
Yeah, the continuous ones.
Maybe
that
it's
means
like
you're fucked in the
maybe
head.
it's like an addiction, like a drug. Maybe I don't know.
That yes,
Because like
I
the
think it would be.
adrenaline or some shit.
Well, that and then you're playing God.
That's
You're
true.
playing God because at that point you're like, I can take anybody's life and nobody's gonna stop.
That's
me.
what they touched on a couple of those series. Bundy did similar things, and so did Joel Rifkin. Joel Rifkin didn't kill every prostitute he was with. He was just like, it was a roll of the dice type thing. And if he did it, so be it.
Yeah,
But
so
he didn't have any remorse.
Yeah, he was playing God.
Yeah, he was playing God.
Yeah.
And Ted Bundy did God-like stuff when he was a kid. From what I hear, supposedly he would buy mice and make this like little pen and like choose which one he would kill and then release the rest of them.
No
type
shit.
From like a pet store type deal
Yeah.
when he was young. So yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
Like God type shit.
I mean,
I mean,
it makes
it's power.
sense. It's power. It's absolute power.
Exactly.
You know, and
you control
what happens, and you feel great about it. Like, oh yeah, well, guess what? You suck. You're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're cool, so you get to live. You know?
exactly.
I can see that. I can see that.
And that to some of them, I guess that's what it does boil down to. Like
Yeah.
the whole that aspect,
It's the power trip.
the power.
Yeah, you're right.
It's got to be all about the power.
It's
crazy.
It's got to be, or it's about the thrill that you're getting away with it. You know what I mean? That too.
And
Like, it could be that too.
I think to an extent sometimes it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be a mix of all kinds of shit like that.
Yeah, because it's not black and white.
Because
it's gray as fuck.
It's got to be.
It's gray as fuck.
There's not one thing that motivates this person to do what they do.
No.
It's got to be
it's a
whole
series of events.
Yeah.
It's a series of events that leads you up to this one murder,
Yeah.
and then when you do the first one and you get away with it,
Yes.
that's the kicker. Is if when you get away with it and
Yeah.
no one's, then you're like, I can do it again.
Exactly.
I can do it again. I can do it again. Until you come to the point where like, fuck, I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think that's when they get caught. Is when they get to that point, like
Because they're sloppy.
yeah,
They get sloppy.
Yep. They
Every
get,
time.
they get sloppy, and then that's when they get caught, and they're
Yeah.
just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it's over.
Yeah.
Because when Rifkin got caught, he owned. Well, he really didn't have anything to go on because they found a body in his trunk. But anyways,
Got a body in his trunk, huh?
yeah, he had I guess his truck bed. It was wrapped in a tarp, but it was uncharacteristic of him because he was quicker. He had just dumped a body at one point when cops were coming up to his truck, and he like scooped up this muffler or some shit, and he was like, "I'm just scavenging for parts," type shit, and then they didn't.
Yeah,
Like,
they didn't
"All right."
think no. They're like, yeah, you're good, bud.
But when he got caught, he didn't have a license plate on his truck, and he had a body in the back, and he tried to outrun the cops.
You're done.
If he would have just stopped, and he actually crashed and blah blah blah, but if he would have stopped, he might have had something in his head to get away with it. Been like, oh, I'm gonna get my license plate on,
And
later.
they would have believed him.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
So fucked up. The killers that I have no remorse for and I can't stand is because I watched the one documentary of the dude who killed his wife and his kids.
is that one that the guy got away though?
No, he didn't get away.
Okay.
Like fucking it was so heartbreaking because it's like he murdered his own kids.
Exactly.
And then like he talks about it and like you see
So they have an interview and shit with him.
Not like interview. It's the fucking in the cop shop fucking surveillance thing, and he's talking about it. And he's like, because he goes into detail about how he murdered the wife, and they took the two kids with him, with her body to this fucking oil site, and he dumps the body off, and then he says, "Come with me now," for the first kid, and takes her off, and the other kid's still in the car.
Yeah.
And he comes back, and he's like, all right, come on. And he starts, it's so fucking heartbreaking. And he like fucking puts the sheet and shit over her head, and the little kid's like, no, daddy, no. And he just starts murdering her, dude.
Oh, fuck.
It's like, if you can register, like your kid's saying that in your head, like,
And just do it.
and you do it anyways. Like,
Oh
what
my
kind of piece
God.
of shit are you? Like, I'm crying right now because
know.
it's like, if my kids, because I can understand, like, a kid is like, it trusts you 100%.
Exactly.
And then when you start doing something, because she asked him, she's like, where'd my sister go? He's like, don't worry. And he starts to fucking murder. And it's like, no, Daddy, no. And that's all you hear. That's the last thing you hear. No, Daddy, no. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, when someone does that, you're a piece of shit. Yeah. And you should be shot right there immediately, in my opinion. Especially when you murder kids. Like, to me,
yeah, definitely
kids, to me, like, when you murder a kid, you're a piece of shit. Like, because, like, they have no chance. They trusted you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I can't, yeah. I thought, I don't know if they ever found the guy or not, but I was thinking of something very similar. To where a guy killed his wife and his kids and caught the house on fire or some shit. And then he vanished, but they found his car, and everybody speculates that he died in the wilderness or some shit, but they never found him. Really? They never found the guy. So he might still be alive. But I can't remember what the fuck it was about or what his name was and shit. But I hadn't heard of that. That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, it's so fucked up. It's a crazy, because the documentary is really well done. Because it's like, because this chick, like, was social media like a motherfucker, you know what I mean? So, like, they take all her shit and, like, compile it, and then like, you just, oh my god, dude, you can't, if you don't cry watching this documentary, you're a fucking scumbag. You know what I mean?
What, do you remember the name of it?
I can't remember the name of it, but it's what the fuck was the name of it? I don't even remember the dude's name in the fuck, because I was like, I don't want this piece of shit in my brain no more.
Yeah, I can agree.
Because like I said, because
it's fucked up.
It's so fucked up because it's like, when you hear that, you're like, because that's what he says. He says it.
Yeah, he
repeats it.
Yeah,
it's like,
fuck,
you piece of shit. Like, shoot you right now. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't see how.
I don't know how you can kill your own kids.
I don't know how you can kill your own kids and then
act normal.
Yeah, and all that shit.
Because he tried to get away with
it. And then on top of that, how do these guys feel that are listening to this story? Like, what the fuck do you, like, how do you just let this guy live, basically?
Yeah, well, no, but he got locked up. I mean,
he did get locked up. But
he's locked, and he's probably facing, because I think it was like in Arizona or some shit like that, or Texas or somewhere. So I mean, he's gonna end up dying himself.
Yeah,
which like he deserves.
Oh yes,
you know.
But like the police hearing this story, like, what the fuck how would you react in that situation? But that's fucked up.
Yeah, because what it was his wife, like, when you watch it. Like, his wife was kind of abusive, in my opinion, to him. In my opinion, the wife was abusive to him, and she was just one of those, it's kind of like mentally abused him type deal. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I mean, they don't come across that in the show. Like in the show, you're watching it, and they don't say that shit like that. But if you watch all the shit they put together, you're like, oh yeah, she was kind of a bitch. You know what I mean? She was a bitch, and fucking
just put him, but. Still, at the
same time, all you gotta do is just say, you know what, I want a divorce.
Yeah,
I'm done. But it was the kids that got me. It was the kids that got me.
Oh, I would be right there with you. 100%.
Because I can't imagine.
Like I could, like you said, like an adult, I can see like having enough and getting pushed to there.
I can see.
But why would you go to the kids?
Right.
Why would you go that far?
Right.
That's just stupid.
It is. Well, not just stupid. It's just heartbreaking. It's like they didn't even have a chance. You know what I mean? Like, they had no chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not at
all.
I just hate it when I see kids get killed by, especially like what was it? Fucking 3-4 years ago here in Ohio, fucking the one people who murdered everybody in Pike County. And they killed there was.
Oh yeah, that family with
they murdered all the family. They killed the kids. They killed everybody. I think like a 4-month-old baby was the only thing that survived.
Yeah.
And it's like they killed teenagers. They killed 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's they're a little bit more detached though in that situation. Like, it's not.
I don't think so.
A father killing a child.
At the same time,
it's still a kid. Though.
It's still a kid.
Fuck.
It's like they didn't even have, like, they're innocent. Like any kid that is under the age of 18 is innocent as fuck, in my opinion. I mean, no, granted, 15. Maybe because 15 you start making your own decisions.
Yeah, maybe doing stupid shit.
But you still shouldn't be murdered.
Yeah.
You know? But a kid that's 9, 10, 7, 8, 5, it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, like, what's the point?
Yeah. Like, why would you do that? I don't know. It's so fucked up, man. It's so fucked up. Humans are just fucked up individuals. Yeah. But you know what? But you think about it, and go back to our animal topic, like...
We are just animals.
We are just animals. So if you look in the animal world, they do the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Animals fucking...
And that's why we're not different.
Yeah.
That's why we're still animals.
Yeah.
Like, why do we classify ourselves different than animals when we act like animals?
Exactly. Exactly. Because they do the same thing. Like, lions will eat the young of a rival. Yeah. You know? And chimpanzees and shit will destroy fucking babies. Yeah. Just because they're the rival. Exactly. You know? It's just... But it's still heartbreaking.
It is. It doesn't change the fact that it's terrible. But... we still act like animals. Like we're the same as them. If we want to earn the human race title, stop acting like animals.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop killing each other.
But it's just senseless anymore.
You're right. You're right. Let's move on to something more uplifting, happier.
Not tonight.
Nope.
All right. So that was Jordan the Sun. Serial killer style. With fucking emojis. I don't know.
It took a dark
emotions.
turn.
No, I don't think it did take a dark turn. I think it took the turn that it needed to take.
The only turn that it really could.
That was it is what it is. Yeah. So if you like it, like and subscribe. If not, you know what the deal is. Fuck the fuck off. Thanks for tuning in to Drunk of the Sun. This is Joe and Tom.
Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody. Like and subscribe.
Thank you all for subscribing and liking. From Drunk on the Sun, the podcast about everything and anything under the sun. So check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Instagram. We're posting new shit every week. See ya.